Boom. Gotcha. The timer said 26 seconds, and yet here I am, because you don't know me. You don't know my next move. You can't predict my mind, but you can predict I'm gonna look damn good on stream. Hello everybody, what's up? Snow, Hector, Adrian, Jason, Blazing Glory, General Knight, Darpoon, Marlowe, Draconic, how's it going? Amusement, Thorlocks, Billy, Elianis, Edwin, Lasoa, Waffles, Sarah, Teleporter, Biochronic, James, Salami, Metallic Ghost, Nick, River, Phoenix, Tony. What's up, everybody? What's up, Brett? Good to see y'all. Matt, Bruno, Retro. Oh, God. It always warms my heart to see over 100 people in here just, like, chilling, ready for a chill Q&A. I absolutely love it. I'm going to turn the music down. I'm not going to turn it off, because awkward silence is awkward. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn that down. Thank you, Trans Gamer Girl, for renewing your sub here on YouTube, or membership, or whatever it's called. I really, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take chat, put chat right in front of me. That way, instead of awkwardly looking over here and talking over here when you're right there, I can actually talk towards you. You know, like a good streamer. Yo, thank you for the anonymous 777 tip. That's some good luck. All right, we'll take the good luck tip here early on. Thank you, Salami, for renewing your Tier 1 membership. Appreciate it. Is that eyeliner? Yes. As we all know, I've been embracing makeup more in my day-to-day life, and I've been loving it. I'm not super happy with my application today. I'm still learning. This is probably still only my, like, 6th or 7th application not in a theater setting. You know, I grew up doing theater, I grew up doing a lot of makeup for shows and doing stage makeup, and what's very difficult is that stage makeup is very different from standard makeup, which, to be fair, this is still kind of performance makeup. You know, I'm not doing makeup in a way that will necessarily look quite as good in person, even if that's what I'm kind of trying to go for, but because stage makeup, for context, stage makeup is made to look good from a distance. Stage makeup is so I can stand here and you can still see my facial features regardless of the distance. Whereas standard makeup is like, we're face to face, you know, we're having dinner. You took me to the Olive Garden, we got some breadsticks, some delicious soup, we've been having casual conversation. I bat a couple flirty eyes, throw out a line or two. That's what the normal makeup's for. So that's what I'm still trying to learn. You know what? Thank you, Matt Groff, for renewing your membership. But yeah, no, one thing I'm still learning a lot is my eyes. Hooded eyes are hard. Like, what I mean by hood, I didn't actually even know hooded eyes was a thing in the makeup world. But I've learned. Oh yeah, dog. Dog is here. It's dog. Here, I'll stand over here and talk about makeup, so that way if you don't care about makeup, you can still look at the dog being cute. So, I have what's called hooded eyes, and what that means is there's a lot of area above the eye, and my brow comes out. You can see when I raise my eyebrows, there's a lot of extra room there. Like, a lot.
Getting ready to start AV on Foundry.
Abomination Vaults, let's go.
Since the shaman isn't on Foundry yet, Tilda.
Yeah, no, Shaman's not out yet, unfortunately, on Foundry. Gunslinger or Thaumaturge? I'd say if you want consistency, Thaumaturge. If you want risk versus reward, Gunslinger. Because Gunslinger, if you don't crit, you're not going to do as much damage, but if you crit, you're going to do some of the highest damage in the game. Thank you, Draken Inc., for renewing your membership. Love it. But yeah.
So cool.
Hooded eyes are rough. Hooded eyes are real rough. Love the vids. You helped me introduce my group to Pathfinder. One wants to play a summoner, but is a little confused how Act Together works. Act Together turns one action into 2 actions, but each of those actions need to be taken by one for the summoner, one for the Eidolon. You will effectively want to use Act Together every single turn, because it gives you 4 actions per turn, but they do have to be 1 each. Trans Gamer Girl needs her wrench back? Wait, did Trans Gamer Girl lose? How did that happen? Trans Gamer Girl is... Oh, wait, you're, Oh, you migrated to a standard account. I got you. Add as moderator. Boom. I think I should have fixed it. Yes, I have given you... I have returned your wrench. Please enjoy the magic item. It gives +1 to diplomacy and +3 to attack rolls to ban. DMing Abomination Vault and sent your video to my players. I want to make more of those. Those are really, really fun. I just have not gotten around to it yet. Do you think Thaumaturge could work for a first character? I don't recommend it. There's a lot to it. If you're willing to put in the work and the research, I would say you can do a Thaumaturge, but it's not going to be simple. Yo, I see you, Zoomy. I see Zoomy sub into the channel. What's up? We've been talking about makeup on Twitter. Love it. Oh, man. I thought Act Together was 2 actions to give 2 actions to one and 1 action to the other. I'm pretty sure it's 1 action. Act Together. I'm pretty sure it is 1 action tandem action. Oh, it's 1 to... Oh, that's right. They eroded it. So it still works the same. It is 1, 2, or 3 actions, but you get 1 more action than you spend. This is just to let you, like, cast a spell. So as a summoner, if you want to cast a 2-action Burning Hands, you can act together for 2 actions, use your 2 actions on Burning Hands, and give 1 extra action to your Eidolon. People added me when I made my complexity video and were like, oh, summoner's not that complicated. It's so much easier than you said. And I'm like, not for a new player. No. No. All right, time to start picking questions out of here. But I was having so much fun talking about... Oh, yeah, I got distracted. Hooded eyes. Hooded eyes suck. Because, like, I'm wearing eyeshadow, and you can kind of see it, especially when I'm close up here. But, like, it's really weird. Oh, man, I hate this shadow. I'm never using this shadow again. It's already, like, showing through. It's supposed to be a dark blue. I put on 2 layers of this shadow and blended it. It's not doing work. And it's making my eyes look gray and sunken and exhausted. I'm never using this shade again. But one more thing, I'll start answering questions in just a second. I do have to plug, because I'm sponsored and I love them. G Fuel, you know I talk about it. You know I've been talking about it for about 5 months now. It's because I swear by it. I use it every day. It replaces coffee for me most of the time, unless I'm really craving coffee. Today I'm showing you my hack. My hack that has changed G Fuel forever for me. I've talked about this before, but I've never shown it off. Right here. I have hyper-concentrated G Fuel. This is an entire serving of G Fuel with just a little bit of water and some ice in it. I do that so that I can mix in seltzer water. You mix in seltzer water. That's some nice... Ooh. There you go. There you go. So I didn't just make G Fuel soda. I've basically recreated the canned G Fuel with the powder. I prefer the canned G Fuel. I don't have it on me right now. I prefer the canned G Fuel because it's carbonated. I love the carbonation, but man, mixing it in with the G Fuel powder is amazing. Now you have to mix in a little bit of normal water first because the carbonation makes it, for some reason, the G Fuel does not mix as smoothly. But you add a little bit of water, make sure it dissolves, hit it with the seltzer water, boom. You've got carbonated seltzer water. There's a fly in my drink. I'm upset. Why is there a fly in my drink? Why? Get out of there. Oh, I don't think it was a fly. I think it was a piece of mascara. I think like a tiny little dollop of mascara came down and it looked like a fly. All right, I'm good. If I drink mascara, I'll be pretty on the inside too. Don't worry. I don't think it's a fly. That is not a fly. It was a tiny sprite. Well, the tiny sprite drowned really fast. All right, let's go ahead and start talking Pathfinder questions here. Have you thought about making a conditions rank list? Which are the most powerful, most immunities, easiest to apply? Oh, which ones are the most powerful? Yeah, that would be worth doing. I mean, the problem is a lot of the rankings would be obvious. Things like Petrify would be near the bottom because they're so hard to apply. And obviously the top 2 would be Sickened and Frightened. They're easiest to apply. They're easiest to keep going. There's so many abilities that make them near permanent, and they just inflict a -1 penalty to everything. Sickened and Frightened are S tier easily. I'm thinking of using the no alignment variant rule. Would I run into any issues combining lawful and good damage into a radiant damage type? I don't think that would be a problem. Radiant and Entropic damage? I don't think that would imbalance the game at all. What would you like to change in PF2 core rules if you had a chance? Ability scores. It's no secret that Pathfinder, well, I mean, it's not like it's not a secret, but it's not super public knowledge. Paizo didn't want to use ability scores in Pathfinder 2e. Fun fact, they've been transparent about this. They did not want to include ability scores. The 10, 12, 14, 16 system, they didn't want that. However, it got overruled and they kept it in because they were scared that older players would not want to play the new system if it was too different. They originally just wanted to keep +0, +1, +2, +3, and like when you would get a boost from your ancestry, that would just turn your intelligence from 0 to +1. They wanted to get rid of the stupid teens and 20s and stuff, but unfortunately they were too scared to do it. I'm sad because I think it would have made the game even simpler and easier to access, because as it stands, ability scores do nothing. You will almost never have an odd ability score in PF2, so it doesn't do anything. Small question, do you think Paizo will do large balance overall, like buffing champion feats? I don't think they're going to do massive balance erratas, like they've talked about doing 2 erratas per year. I don't think they're going to do any massive balancing changes, but I could be wrong, you know, who knows what they'll change a year or 2 down the line. I think the Alchemist errata is the biggest thing we're ever going to see, which I still don't think they needed it. I'll take it. Med Gun Alchemist is now completely viable, and I'm ready for it. But, I don't know. I don't think the Alchemist needed it, but it definitely helps. Thank you, David. I've been enjoying playing with makeup. Let's see. Yeah, there are enough 1E players that complained about 2E. Right, there's enough people already saying, oh, it's too different. I don't like it anymore. It's not the same game. It's my funniest complaint with people. Why didn't they just make the same game again? It's different, so it's worse. What would you say is the worst class archetype? Fighter. Fighter is my favorite class. It is my least favorite class archetype. Fighter class archetype gets you nothing. I think it gets you trained in martial weapons, and it never goes beyond trained. Unless you take like a level 13 feet or 14 feet or something. Fighter class archetype is garbage. Wait, class archetype, not multi-class archetype. Oh, you mean like Geomancer or Elementalist? I haven't put a lot of thought into those. I've had a lot of discussions with my team and other people who hate class archetypes as an idea. I love them, but I don't know them deep enough to have a least favorite, unfortunately. I have a living vessel character, and I wanted to know how I could better handle being level 2 and have a power of like a level 12 creature inside of me. Talk to your GM about it. Have something limited. Ooh.
Thanks for amazing video.
Thank you, General.
I have a question. I'm new to Patreon and see no news since May. Does it mean that it's better to pre-order Sinclairs than support you on Patreon, in the case if I want some extra stuff?
So Sinclair's is technically a separate entity from Nonat 1's. If you pledge to the Nonat 1's Patreon, you are mainly doing that just to financially support me. I really need to clear that up. I haven't updated the tiers in forever. That's on me. You can see it's been like 8 months, 10 months since then. With that being said, if you want to support Sinclair's and get extra stuff, I believe Sinclair's is going to be opening its own Patreon, where the funds are going to be going to the company, to the writers, to everyone there, not to me directly. So if you want to support the Nonat 1's channel, that's use my Patreon. Otherwise, pre-order Sinclair's to support Sinclair's library, and then when they open their Patreon, you can pledge over there for extra free stuff. I've got a whole team over there. I am not the head of the Hydra, as it talks about that. There's a lot of people behind me over there pulling some great stuff. We got a lot of cool stuff to bring you beyond just the 2 books so far. Let's see. I was talking about something. Who was I talking to? What was I talking about? Right, Billy. Talk to your GM. Have a reason they can't, you can't access all their powers. They can't do everything, because it's still your body. Their power might bleed through just a little bit, but that doesn't mean you have all the power of them. Yo, thank you, Dragon Master, renewing your membership for a 4th month in a row. Let's go. I really want to see the lore of Sinclair's world. I'm not going to say anything, but, you might be happy in a while. I could say that +0 to +4 from ability scores is too huge a range. That I disagree with. I like the range. I like the improvement of ability scores to get those bonuses. If it was just like 0 to +2, that would feel almost meaningless. Favorite martial in PF2? Fighter. Easy. I'm a hypocrite. I hate the fighter, but it's also my favorite class. Let's see. Any predictions or desires for the rulebook after Rage of Elements? I want new martial. Like, I want a really, really fun new martial class. Because I feel like, I mean, I guess we got... What did we get before? We got Thaumaturge and Psychic. And Thaumaturge is a martial, but it doesn't feel like martial prowess. You know, I'm wanting some kind of full-on front line. I guess I want another tank. I want another really bulky frontline fighter that can rival the champion to come after Rage of Elements. What's a low-level undead enemy that's not a zombie? Skeleton. Or ghoul. Ghouls are fun. I love ghouls. Sorry if this was asked already, but do you DM on Foundry or do you play in person? I have not DM'd in about 4 or 5 months, and I cry every night about it. When I DM, I tend to do Theater of the Mind, which is a very unpopular opinion in Pathfinder 2e. I adore Theater of the Mind. Someone actually asked me, I think it was on Twitter or before the stream started in chat, if you can play PF2 with Theater of the Mind. I say yes, you absolutely can. I just commented this on Twitter. The word about is your friend when playing Theater of the Mind. In Theater of the Mind, you don't need to keep track of, oh, they're 13.5 feet away from them, they're 12.2 feet away from that boulder. Just use the word about. You know, when the fighter says, am I in range to sudden charge that enemy, you say, yeah, you're about 50 feet away, you could get there in 2 strides. You don't need specifics when it comes to combat in Theater of the Mind. I love it, but it's not for everyone. You need to be able to really keep track of everything in your head as a GM, and some people just can't handle that, which is completely fair.
Who do we need to talk with to get them to introduce Pathfinder 2e to the AI chat GPT? It can make better content.
Okay. This is a loaded question. Thank you, Chase, for the $10. I don't know how I feel about ChatGPT. It's fascinating, it's interesting, but it's closing in on the same issues I have with AI art. You know, not an intrinsically evil product, but can and will be abused. And I feel like if people just... It's not going to be able to make balanced content. You know? It's going to be able to make good enough content. That's sort of the problem. Is AI, at least for the next 10, 20 years, is never going to be able to make something as good as a person, but it's going to make something that's good enough. And, like... It's going to be really depressing when someone releases, like, hey, look at this book of Pathfinder 2e content that I'm publishing that I spent 2 weeks plugging into ChatGPT so it would make 3 new classes, 2 new Ancestries, and 50 new magic items. Like, I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. It makes me uncomfortable, and I'm really not a fan. You should GM a game for us? Alright, right now, let's go. Dragon uses Breath Weapon. Y'all got a 16 on your saving throw. Unfortunately, it has a 40 DC crit fail. You're all taking 12 D6 damage. I'll just multiply these two by 6. That's a total of 8 times 6 is 48 damage. You're all dead. Good game, y'all. Sorry. Them's the breaks. Bonus of +4 makes a huge impact at 1 to 3, but at level 6+, difference between +2 or +4 is much smaller. Heavy disagree. In PF2 especially. +2 can make or break an entire game. Oh my god. Marion Patera, 100 of some currency that's going to be translated for me over here. Go! Go! There it is. 450. Thank you so much, US dollars.
Could you explain bounded caster slots PLS? When you gain new level slots and lose old ones, can you use them to heighten low spells? Or are they erased from your repertoire, booked forever? So confused.
That's a great question, Marion. Bounded casters, yes. When you reach, say, level 5, you lose your first level spell slots, but you gain 3rd level spell slots. What does that mean for the spells at that level? Well, it means you forget them, but you get to relearn new 3rd level ones. This means... Or do you forget them? Actually, hold on. I haven't played one in forever. I don't even know if you do forget them. I think you... I'm actually going to need to fact check myself on this. I haven't played a bounded caster yet. Do you forget them? Or maybe they are just available to you. You lose your lowest level of spell slots. Anytime you lose a level of spell slots, you lose 2 spells in your repertoire as well. So, what that means is, if you have something like Magic Missile that you want to keep, you can just instantly relearn it as a 3rd level spell. But let's say you have something that doesn't heighten to 3rd level, I don't have any off the top of my head, you're probably going to want to forget that one. It sucks if you have like a favorite spell, but if it doesn't have a heightened effect, it's not really going to be worth keeping at those higher level spell slots. That's a really common issue people have with bounded casting, and I can understand why, but it's for balance mechanics, because the Summoner is already such a good martial class with its Summoner. Summoner forgets them, Magus has a spell book, nice. Let's see. You compare the difference of +2 and +4 when you have a +10 from proficiency? What? Right, but it's all together. Just because you are getting +10 from your level doesn't mean the +4 from your ability scores isn't useful anymore. If you're level 10 and you only have a 14 in your key ability score, you're taking a -2 on all of your accuracy. That's going to completely debilitate you. Trust me, there's a reason the fighter is so good at hitting things, even though they only have a +2. Even if you're playing a level 15 campaign, that fighter's +2 is still shining. Question, is there going to be a Foundry module for Sinclairs? Yes! Yes, there is. Specifically, the Almanac is going to be completely free on Foundry.
They are all family in life.
I will get to that. Thank you, Jonathan. Yes, we want to follow Paizo's message. Player mechanics, all going to be free. The NPC Codex is going to be a premium charge that you'll pay for, but all the classes, Ancestries, everything coming in the Almanac, totally free on Foundry. I'm going to run a mini campaign where the players are undeads in the outskirts of Geb. Any suggestions for fun things they can fight as undead who want to fight living and are kind of evil? I mean, it's always fun to fight militia, like militia who are trying too hard to be good. I would do my best to avoid being just downright dirty and mean with it. You know, don't have them kill random villagers and commoners, like unless that's really what you're going for. But no, enemy militiamen, hunters, nature spirits, those are all really good enemies for a slightly evil-leaning undead campaign. I'm new to GMing and PF2 in general, and the book is thick and terrifying. And my game is 60% to 70% puzzle/social interaction and 30 to 40% combat. What should I focus on? I mean, the easy answer is focus on having fun. Do not attempt to learn all the rules. Learn the basics, learn how the 3-action economy works, learn how strides, strikes work, and the basic flow of combat, but don't worry about memorizing the whole rulebook. In a given session, you're going to need 5% of that book tops. If something comes up that you don't know how to handle, either look it up really quickly if you know how to, otherwise, homebrew it for that session. Once the session is over, look it up, learn it, you'll know how to handle it next time. Easy as that. But yeah, don't let yourself get bogged down in the rules. Do you have a favorite third-party PF2 material? I think the highest quality, it's no contest, that's Roll for Combat. Battles of Bestiary, and all that jazz. It's no contest. They have some of the highest quality stuff out there. Their Dragon Ancestry book is second to none. Does multi-classing work the same as 5e? It absolutely does not. Multi-classing, as you know it, does not exist in Pathfinder 2nd edition. Rather, instead of taking a class feat at even levels, you can instead choose to take an archetype. Now, there's 2 different types of archetypes. There's normal archetypes and multi-class archetypes. They function the exact same way. Multi-class archetypes are just representative of the 22 existing classes. If you take the wizard archetype at level 2, you get like a cantrip and trained in the Arcana skill. But you still get your level 2 class features for your base class. No matter what, you will get your base class features of your base class every single level, even if you spend all your feats on archetypes. That is the best way to describe it. But no, multi-classing as in 5e does not exist. Yo, thank you for the $5, Axerman. Please read me the question.
Thanks for all your content. Plus, can you help with the multi-parted question I sent earlier if it showed up at all? Hard to figure out the situation.
I don't know if I'll be able to find it. I can try. The multi-parted question you sent earlier. It depends on how much earlier. I don't... What are the rules to asking questions? Is that your question? Let me see. I don't see... Maybe it didn't send, because I'm scrolling back through chat looking for your name, Axerman. I'm not seeing it. Yeah, I don't see it, unfortunately. I'm sorry. But if your question was the rules on asking questions, anything goes. You can ask whatever you want about Pathfinder 2E. Even if it's slightly off topic, I don't mind answering that either way. You can ask how I look so fleek every day, to which case I can't share my secrets, but you can ask anyway. Yeah. Our D&D playgroup is trying to learn the Pathfinder 2E system. So far, we're understanding most of it and are testing out combat this weekend. How important are status conditions? Vital. Status conditions, if you want to make the most of the combat system, are vital. Frightened, sickened, flat-footed, slowed, quickened, all of those, well, slowed and quickened are a little bit higher level, but frightened, sickened, and flat-footed especially are the 3 you should learn. They're easy to apply, they're really, really powerful, but they can and will be used against you as well. Pick up status effects as early as you can. They're amazing.
Hey, love your stuff. I know this is slightly off topic.
I've not.
Have you taken a look at the Black Flag playtest, and if so, what's your thoughts?
Oh man, I have not seen the Black Flag playtest. Maybe we'll do that on stream later. Honestly, depending on how it's going, depending on how we're vibing, maybe in like an hour or two we'll take a look at it, because I have not. That could be a fun thing to look at together on stream. Thank you for the $5. Yeah, Geb is awesome. I absolutely love Geb in Pathfinder 2E. Just a city of undead that are not intrinsically evil, I think is fantastic. Let me see. If a thaumaturge attacks with exploit vulnerability, but his weapon already deals its weakness, is the damage applied twice or just once? Once for the higher result. If your exploit weakness gives them a weakness 3 to your attacks, but your attack already deals fire damage, and they have a weakness 5 to fire, then they will take the 5 damage from the fire. However, I think if you just inflict the weakness to your attacks, the not specific weakness, the personal antithesis, then I think both will trigger. So if they have a weakness to fire, and you take advantage of their weakness to fire, they'll only take the weakness to fire damage once, even if your weapon was already dealing fire damage. But if they have a weakness to fire, and you have a flaming sword, but you inflict a personal antithesis and hit them, they're going to take both the fire weakness and the personal weakness. What concern should I have for first-timers playing a mechanically dense class? Me and my table are experienced with 5e, new to PF2. One player wants to try the Psychic. Oh! Make sure they know what they're getting into. If they have been told this class is complicated, for your first time playing, you're going to have a lot of questions and you're going to need to do a lot of research, it's their fault if they complain it's too complicated. If they have been properly warned and told, hey, this is not a simple class, and then they complain about it at the session, that's on them. Nothing you can do about it. Just make sure they're properly informed. Hosting your first PF2 one-shot soon, Billy. Any recommendations? For a one-shot? The beginner box one-shot's incredible. I've heard great things about Trouble in Otari. Fall of Playstone's not bad, though it's not a one-shot. I'll just say recommendations on the game itself. Focus on having fun, focus on getting it done, and don't get hung up on silly little rules. Axerman question copied again above. Where is it? Wait. So my question was, I have some gaming friends who see Pathfinder 1 and 2 as too lethal. And I think it was from me talking about how I love the design of the game and how tanking is about taking hits, not crits, and how I'm not sure if lethality is an issue. But I also got constant complaints about how it's mostly from people not hitting and slowly getting chipped down. How do I help communicate the positives of 2E as I lack the combat experience to be any form of expert opinion? Well, what's weird is it sounds like you just made 2 different complaints. One is that people are always getting hit, and 2 is that nobody's ever getting hit. I feel like if you want to send them my top 5 differences video, I do go over it in more detail there. But it just takes getting used to. You're going to take damage, you know? This is not D&D 5e, where you're going to min-max your armor class to be unhittable by anything in the game. This is much more a war of attrition, where both sides are going to constantly be taking hits. Unless your dice luck is absolutely garbage like mine, there's no reason you should be missing every attack unless your GM specifically threw something way too high level at you. The game is incredibly well balanced, and if all of your physical attacks are missing because an equal level creature's armor class is through the roof, I guarantee it has a weakness in the form of a saving throw. Get your magic in there, get your alchemist working, and take advantage of elemental or saving throw weaknesses. Not every question can be answered by just hitting it harder with a hammer. Though a lot of questions can be answered with a hammer. Dice luck like Will Wheaton? Absolutely, Tony. I roll more nat ones than anybody I know in my life. Let's do a little experiment here, real quick. I'm gonna roll 5 d20s. Let's roll 5 d20s. I'm not gonna touch them. I rolled 5 d20s. We got a 1, a 3, a 3, an 8, and an 11. I rest my case. I have a level 6 Forge Cleric with 25 AC. Oh my god. Yeah, I roll so many freaking ones. It's wild. And I love that even candid like that, I can just drop it. I am so confident it's gonna come up. An 11 is just 2 ones.
Cool. Someone needs to make that into a meme.
Make what into a meme? My constant nat ones? Yes, Connor, if I missed a question, absolutely feel free to repeat it and tag me at Nonat1s and I should be able to see it. Honestly, if you're asking a question, I do recommend putting in at Nonat1s. It pops up as a little orange block on my screen. It's easier to see. Is Abomination Vault a good AP for a beginner GM? Absolutely. It makes roleplay optional. If you want to roleplay, the content is there, but if you'd rather just learn the mechanics, it does just put you right into the combat. It lays everything out in front of you, and it starts out really simple and just gets slowly more and more complex. Abomination Vaults is mwah for a new GM. Did you check 4th edition D&D? Not enough. I want to, but I have not looked into it enough, unfortunately. Do you think reducing week-long waiting time, like getting a familiar to 1 day? Yeah. As long as it's not it's sort of a player GM agreement. When you reduce something to 1 day that may cost like a full week of in-game time, it has to be understood that you can't abuse this. It's the kind of thing where as long as you're all playing just to tell a good story, it's not going to matter. But if another player says, well, John got to get a new familiar in 1 day, so why can't I? That's where it gets a little bit messy. That's someone trying to abuse good storytelling, which is not in the spirit of the game. But yeah, you know, one of my friends wanted to get an animal companion, not even like as a ranger or a druid, but they wanted to get there's a feat out there, an action you can take where it's tame an animal. They wanted to tame an animal, and that's usually like a week-long process with a nature check every day, but we also wanted to progress the story. So the GM said, yeah, we can do it in 2 days. You're going to be in town for 2 days. At night, your character goes into the woods, finds a dog, tames them. Over 2 days, it becomes your friend and comes with you. Done. Easy, simple. It didn't break the game, you know? A lot of what they go for is attempted realism, and as long as you and your party are okay with bending that realism and are not going to abuse it for the sake of min-maxing your character, there's no problem with shortening something like that. Oh my, questions. Now that I told everyone to at me, I just look orange. I will take this moment to remind you, as you've seen, if you do super chat or tip using the link in the description, I always put priority on those questions. I never want to ask for this. I'm never going to ask, like, hey, you should give me money. But if you do, I will always put priority on your questions.
That's so cool.
Oh, like that.
Ever use Hero Lab back?
I've never used Hero Lab. That is like the black sheep of the Pathfinder 2e character creators that I've never tried. I've used Wanderer's Guide, I've used autofill sheets, and I've used Path Builder. I've never used Hero Lab. It's the kind of thing where like only 5% of the community uses it, but they all swear by it. Because it's paid. I think it's probably the highest quality app, but I've never checked it because it's paid, and I put too much worth into $5. Like, do I have a $5 bill on me? I only have $1. I only have $1. This isn't enough for Hero Labs. I'm new to Pathfinder 2e. Swashbuckler or Ranger? Personally, Ranger. Ranger's gameplay loop feels so good. Swashbucklers is a little more flexible. Ranger's a little more single-focused. Any suggestions for good GMing resources for adventure paths or someone with pretty rough attention issues? I personally, this is going to be a hot take after this.
Sorry for all the orange boxes. Green box. Teal box. Teal green box.
Teal green box. Thank you, Anonymous. Oh, that's the real Anonymous. Not someone masquerading as Anonymous, but actual Anonymous. Thank you. No, I love the Slithering. The Slithering is a fantastic adventure path for someone who needs something different happening every 30 seconds. Because it takes place over a whole city. Every single, probably in-game hour, your players are going to move to a different part of the city, do something new, interact with a new NPC, have a new combat against a new type of enemy. The Slithering, while it requires a little bit of reading ahead, is a fantastic go adventure. What are your thoughts on kobolds? I plan to play a kobold barbarian soon. Kobolds are great. They're fantastic. They're like scaly little gremlins. I think like kobolds are in my top 15 Ancestries easily. I really appreciate them. I don't know if I'd ever play one though. I don't know. I've got kobold friends. I love them.
I see some ancestry questions in chat which makes me ask. The heck with the cat folk.
Where are the canine-based ancestries? Canine-based ancestries, all we have is the Shuni. Honestly, where are the dogkin?
Making the right choice and switching to Pathfinder 2e.
So, honestly, you've got the Shuni, which are the closest thing to dogfolk. Your next best bet is Beastkin. You can make anything a dogfolk with Beastkin, and technically, Kitsune are foxfolk, which are in the family Canidae. So, Kitsune, Shuni, or Beastkin are your best bets. Top 3 tips for game masters making the right choice. I don't agree with that. I really do not agree with people who say Pathfinder 2e is the right choice. Maybe it is for you, not a universal thing. 3 tips for game masters switching to PF2. Don't let the rules bog you down. Remember that the game is about storytelling. 3 tips right off the top of the head. Obviously, don't let the mechanics get in the way. Don't let the book intimidate you. The core rulebook is a player's handbook and a GM's guide all in one, so don't let the 650 pages scare you. Each individual player only needs about 30 pages tops. 3rd tip, embrace the gay furry world of Galarian. It's fantastic and we all love it. Do I have a recommendation? Yo, what's up, Zoomy Zoomy? Do you have a recommendation for an ancestry for someone who really likes changelings or shapeshifters? So it's tough, because changelings in PF2 are very different. Changelings are the descendants of hags. They don't shapeshift. Ironically, they don't really change. So they don't shapeshift like a D&D 5e shapeshifter, and there really isn't one yet. Your best bet might be a Beastkin or a Kitsune, because they have alternate forms. Beastkins have hybrid forms and humanoid forms. Kitsune have fox form and human form. There's a lot there. Unfortunately, there's just no built-in shapeshifters yet, outside of people using spells. Anadi as well. Outside of people using spells, or the druids' built-in wild form is great, because it's not a spell slot in PF2. Wild Order Druid that's based around shape-shifting, absolutely, because it's a focus spell, you can get it back by just spending 10 minutes recentering yourself, and they can get all kinds of things like elemental form, bird form, dinosaur form. It's all over the place. I love it. Alright, now I'm falling behind on stuff. Yep, Kitsune, Catfolk, Goblins, and we all know the best ancestries are Dwarves and Orcs. Dwarves are up there. Dwarves are up there. There's a lot of sentimentality for me in Dwarves. My first ever real D&D character was a Dwarf. Jorv, I loved them. They will always have a special place in my heart, and thus keep Dwarves way up there. But at the end of the day, we all know what I'm about. I love me a Kitsune. I love me a Beastkin. They're fantastic and well written. Hi, playing my first game on Friday. Your videos are super helpful. Thank you. Is Summoner really viable as a caster using the Eidolon as a tank? Yes and no. They do have a D10 hit die, which is nice. The Summoner can take some punishment. Did RFC release a Changeling? Did RFC release a... I'm not caught up on RFC's Year of Monsters, actually. So, Summoner has a lot of health, and they can take advantage of that. But keep in mind, their armor class is not going to be that high. Their Eidolon's armor class does not scale as fast as something like a champion. If you didn't pick a high dexterity Eidolon, you're really going to be suffering. So I would say they're almost equivalent to a fighter. They're equivalent to a fighter trying to tank. Again, the problem is that the fighter can use a shield, the Eidolon cannot. Some Eidolons have some abilities that make them better at tanking or reducing damage. I think the Vengeful Shadow or something has some cool damage reduction. It might be an attack of opportunity. But otherwise, I would say they're mid-tier. They're obviously better than something like a rogue or a wizard or something, but they're not up there with champions and monks. But yeah, no, I'm not actually caught up on the RFC Year of Monsters. I just haven't been able to get myself to spend, what is it, $100 for 12 Ancestries? I know it's worth the money, because each of them is like 2 or 3 times bigger than a standard Ancestry. I just haven't been able to drop the $100. I'm sad you can't buy them separately.
What are the big differences between the 4 spells?
Ooh, Blazing Glory coming in with a good one. All right, sit down. Let me learn you some magic. Arcane is your classic, evocative, destructive, and controlling magic. Arcane is going to get you to speed up time, slow time down, frighten someone, blow things up, shoot lightning, conjure meteors, and all that good stuff. Divine is going to be utilizing the powers of positive and negative energy to heal, to harm, to drain life, to fill with life, to burst someone with the light of the sun, and power up your allies with deific powers. Primal, a little bit of arcane, a little bit of divine. You can still get that elemental control, but similar to the cleric, you're also going to get some buffing spells. You're going to get a lot of animal-specific spells, conjuring animals, turning into animals, controlling animals, as well as the natural world around you. I believe you can still call meteors, but I can't remember. Occult, weird as hell. You're gonna summon haunting voices that cause people to go, ow, that hurts. You're gonna control people. You're gonna alter their perception. I believe you can summon a ghostly Iron Maiden to trap someone inside and skewer their body with ghost spikes. Occult has some of the weirdest spells in the game, so it's probably the most complicated spell list, but it's also one of the most fun. Boom! Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Teddy Ursa, get over here. Sorry, I'm having a great time. I always love these streams. I always love... Now that I have a standing desk and I have the freedom to just walk around out here, God, I love these streams. Devotion Phantom, that's the one, thank you. What are the things that come up more in Pathfinder Society games that you wouldn't otherwise think of? Consumables. Consumables play such a huge part in Pathfinder Society because you get them for free every single mission. In normal Pathfinder 2e, I never think to buy special consumables because I don't want to use money that I could save for a permanent upgrade down the line. However, when you're doing a Pathfinder Society game, depending on how you've built your character's reputation within the society, you get to start with consumables. Things like healing potions, alchemical items like bombs or mutagens, and stuff like that. And it's a really, really cool aspect of society that I wish I saw more in casual play. Do you think it's possible to create a BBEG using a character creator? That's how I do it. That's absolutely how I make all of my BBEGs. If I want my players to have a boss fight, I make a player character 2 or 3 levels higher than them. That is how I've made the final bosses for most of my campaigns, because it's way more interesting and kind of cool when your players see a boss do something and go, oh, I can learn that spell in 2 levels. You know, when they're fighting a level 7 and they cast a massive 4th level spell and your wizard goes, I want to do that. It's a really cool feature. Or when they recognize abilities from classes that they're using, it's awesome. Adventurers Guild. How does society work? Very similar to D&D Adventurers Guild. It's organized play. You sign up right on Paizo.com. I don't think they have any in-person events right now, still over the last 2 years. But they got tons. I'm talking tons of online events you can just join for free. Are constantly looking for players. I think what's hilarious is society is struggling right now with not enough players. They actually have too many GMs because people love running this game so freaking much, which is a hilarious problem to have. So if you're looking to be a player, there are always seats to fill. It's a great way to try out the system because people are always so willing to help you learn, especially if you join like a level 1 session. It's great. It's the classic feeling of taking your character with meta progression. You get experience, you level up. As you go up and gain levels, you join higher level tables and get to sort of build your character's experience. And there's even rules for tackling the level 1 to 20 adventure paths as part of Pathfinder Society. Maybe not the 1 to 20, but like the 3-level adventure paths, like Fall of Plaguestone, level 1 to 3, you can tackle that as part of your Society character. You can finish that playthrough and then move on further in Society. It's awesome. It's something I've always wanted to do more, and I just have not had the time. Highly recommend it. Right on Paizo.com, you can find Society play. My players refuse to use their gold to buy any magical tunes for their weapon. Oh, runes. Is it cruel to throw a boss at them with a striking maul to show them the importance of striking weapons? Absolutely not. Don't do it to the point where it might murder them because of it. But,
How do I get my channel more followers?
don't, like, do it so punishingly so that they can't possibly fight back. But yeah, absolutely. Don't even use a boss. Give a striking maul to a random goblin. You know, have them hit with a 2d4 dagger, and suddenly, not on a critical hit, that goblin just did 12 damage? What? Yeah, it'll catch your players totally off guard, and it'll help them realize how important it is. Alternatively, just play with automatic bonus progression and give them the bonuses if they don't feel like buying them. How do I get my channel more followers? Posting videos regularly, improving your quality, learning from other channels. I could go on the list for thousands of different reasons. I don't know, Wizard of the Tower. I don't know your channel. I don't know your content. I don't know what you're posting. I appreciate the $2, but I'd say more regular content, higher quality content, and do your research. There's a lot of research. I spend probably at least 2 or 3 hours a day doing research on how I can improve my channel. Can you grab with a tail like Gonzi or Goblin if you have the gorilla stance? Only if the tail can do things like a hand can. Most tails specifically say they can only be used for simple tasks like opening a door. If that's the case, no, it cannot be used like a free hand to grapple. Shields give circumstance bonus, and raise a shield is a basic action, so an Eidolon could raise a shield as long as you give them a hand to hold it. Interesting. Is that illegal? I guess I don't see why not. But I guess your Eidolon doesn't have to, it's not armor. And shield proficiency isn't a thing. Huh, that's an interesting little loophole. I like that. Any advice on magic treasure rewards for a campaign using free archetype, automatic bonus progression, and Ancestry Paragon? Yes. Learn what your players want and give it to them when they don't expect it. Learn what your players are looking for with their characters. Something that would make them really excited. Pick magical enchanted weapons and armors that fit characters' archetype. I think a mistake a lot of GMs make is they just say, there's a +2 sword, a +1 breastplate, and 2 potions of healing in there. That's boring. But if you've got a polearm-focused fighter, a wizard who adores scrolls, and an alchemist, say maybe in that same metaphorical chest, you've got a flaming Guiarm inside the chest. You're playing with automatic bonus progression, so it doesn't need a +2 or anything. You've got a flaming Guiarm. You've got that brand new awesome scroll robe with scrolls inscribed on the parchment robe itself that can be activated. And maybe give your alchemist, never be afraid to make up an item. You know, give your alchemist a never-breaking bomb. You know, give them a lesser alchemist fire that when it's thrown, still explodes and does all the effects, but then it's still on the ground where it landed. You know, it always goes off, it always works, but if you can pick it back up, you can throw it again and use this infinitely. Maybe it's weak, but it's a theoretical infinite bomb. Always get creative. Interesting items are always more fun than basic stuff.
Is it viable to be grab wood crafting tools, healer kit, and quick repair? I like the idea of a wizard that handles all the party's support needs.
Before I get to that one, Nemo, thoughts about some Ancestry unarmed attacks like Foxfire being niche and hard to build an effective character concept around? They're not designed to be built around. They're designed to be an extra option. Something like Foxfire, I've seen it save the day. I think it was a Kitsune investigator ended up saving the party because they were fighting a swarm, a centipede swarm, and the alchemist didn't prepare bombs. It was his first game. The other person was a fighter, and the Kitsune investigator, they couldn't do anything to this swarm because it was resistant to piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing damage. But then, out of nowhere, they remembered, oh hey, I have this fire attack. It's weaker than my normal attack, but they don't resist it, and they ended up being able to beat the swarm because they had the extra option. That's what PF2 is about at the end of the day. More options is almost always better than one good option. Is it viable to grab woodcrafting tools, healer kit, and quick repair? Absolutely, yeah. Woodcrafting tools probably won't come up quite as often, but it's still great to have. And if you've got a GM that's really, really happy to work with you with stuff like that, that can get creative. Especially just for roleplay. I actually also played a wizard with woodcrafting tools in D&D 3.5, and my DM let me, whenever we would have like daily preparations or early nights turning in as characters, he would work on just, I would roll woodcrafting and he whittled out little statuettes of my party members. And after being with the party for like 2 or 3 weeks, he gave it to them as gifts, which was really helpful in cementing relationships with them. So even,
Remember,
an item is only game breaking if it actively impedes fun. That's fair. I'll get to that. But yeah, woodcrafting, I think, especially if you're using it to repair like shields and stuff, I think that's an awesome character concept. Yes. Just remember with a healer's kit, you're gonna need training in medicine, which is a wisdom skill. So your wizard might struggle a little bit with multiple ability dependency, but even if you don't have a high wisdom, you can make healer's kit work. That's an interesting viewpoint, Mr. Photon, and I don't inherently disagree with it. An item is only game-breaking if it actively impedes anyone's fun. From a personal table perspective, this is absolutely true. From a game design perspective, I do unfortunately have to disagree. One of the big things we go back and forth on with my team at Sinclair's Library is what is and isn't game-breaking. There's a lot of ideas we wanted to put on the table, but we've actually had to scrap because it just happens to be, if this class takes this and equips this item, that one situation does break the game. It makes that character, inherently better than every single other possible character concept in the game. And even if that niche situation comes up at 2 tables ever, we don't want that to be there. We don't want a best option to exist. We don't want something to be so much better than anything else out there. And it's unfortunate, but it is sort of the unfortunate truth that when you are designing something to be universally applicable, you can't just have fun with it, because that fun is going to turn someone else into an unstoppable monster, which is going to ruin the fun for other people. What are some of your favorite Ancestries? Found the Kenrasu. Kenrasu are awesome. Kenrasu are under-repped, and I absolutely adore them. I also adore Kitsune. I think my #1 favorite Ancestry, I can't wait for the jokes from this, #1 favorite Ancestry is Beastkin, because it's so flexible. Beastkin is a make-your-own Ancestry, and because it's a versatile heritage, you can just do so much with it. You want to be a half-dwarf, half beetle, you can. You want to be a half orc, half eagle, you can. You want to be a half Kenrasu, half hippopotamus, you can. It's a make your own furry. You know what? Not even gonna tiptoe around it. Beastkin, I guess it's not technically an ancestry, but I think of it as one. Beastkin, #1 favorite thing to make a character around. Blazing Glory for the $2. Last donation for the stream, but what is the best class to play if you want to debuff enemies? You got me there before I even finished reading it. I was already thinking Bard or Wizard. Occult and Arcane spell list is great. Alternatively, if you really like debuffing, Rogues go under the radar. The only downside is that Debilitating Strike, is that level 10? Is Debilitating Strike level 10, or is it level 7? Debilitating Strike, is... Let me see. I'm sure someone in chat has already said it, but I'm going to figure it out anyway. Debilitating Strike. It's 9. Yeah. Debilitating Strike is unfortunately level 9, but even before that, because rogues have such insane skill proficiencies, you can get deception and intimidation really, really effective. You can be a super effective debilitator even without magic as a rogue, intimidating and fainting to inflict flat-footed and frightened, and then once you get debilitating strike, you get even more options. So that's another really fun one if you want to play an unorthodox status effect inflictor. What is the most important thing someone should know who is looking to publish their own class designs? It depends on the context of your publishing. Are you publishing it for free for the community to use just for the sake of publishing it? Or are you publishing it to be sold as a quality product? Not saying that the former is not a quality product. I'm just saying the second one, if you are selling it for money, it should be a quality product. If you are just making it for the fun of it, I would focus on unique flavor and mechanics that haven't necessarily been touched before. If you are planning to sell it as a quality product that should be included at most tables, I think you need to research and know the system inside and out to make sure you aren't posting something that will inherently break or change the rules of the game. Changing the rules is not inherently a bad thing, but you need to be careful when you do it because you might open doors that were supposed to be left closed because the gremlins get in and they min-max the crap out of the game. What do you think about consumables as a permanent item? 1 per day usage? Way better. I think consumables that come back every day are fantastic. That's my issue with talismans. I wish talismans in PF2 were once per day instead of once ever. I think a player is much more likely to utilize a consumable that they know they'll get back rather than something they'll never use. It's like ethers in Pokemon. I can't use my ethers. Sure, it's the final boss, and I have 45 of them. What if I need them in the postgame? Is there a particular rule to use archetypes that start at level 6 with the free archetype variant? They have to wait until level 8 once they have 2 more feats. That's a good question, Gabriel. It says in the free archetype section of the Game Mastery Guide that optionally, at GM's discretion, you can ignore the restriction. There are some archetypes that you get at level 2, but then their next feat is level 6. So what do you do at level 4? In that case, you typically allow them to take 1 extra archetype, but then before they're allowed to take a third one, they need to take 3 feats in at least one of them. That's the general consensus on how it works. You get to ignore that restriction once, but then you need to fill out one of those 2. Anonymous, what's up? Is there a viable option for playing a marshal who loves using scrolls? Thaumaturge. Thaumaturge is exactly what you're looking for. They have an entire feat tree that lets them use scrolls. Alternatively, you could be a magus and take the scroll trickster archetype, or a rogue for that matter. There's a lot of options with the scroll trickster archetype. If you're looking for a base class, Thaumaturge has an entire feat chain for exactly that. Talisman Dabbler, does that give you... I guess, yeah, Talisman Dabbler gives you once per day. That's fair. It's just so hard, because early game there aren't enough talismans, and the talismans there are so niche. It's like, oh, once per day, get +1 to an athletics check to climb a wall. Or only get a +1 to grab an edge if you're falling. They're too niche. They're way too niche to be consumable. How do you make a classic drow in PF2? Cavern Elf. Cavern Elf. When I mentioned attention issues in my last question, I meant more in terms of not being able to sit down and read and prep things rather than needing different things to happening constantly. Then your best bet might be to learn how to improv, honestly. If you can't learn to sit... I mean, that's the issue I have. I can't sit down, read, and prep too much. So I would recommend just learning how to come up with things on the fly, you know? Scroll Talisman Thaumaturge is really, really fun. Just throwing items everywhere. Random esoterica. Find a game for my support outwit sport ranger with animal companion as DMPC for 2 games because I'm scared to bring such strange suboptimal characters to society. If you bring a suboptimal character to society and someone complains, that's a them problem. If they're complaining that your character isn't good enough at this play pretend table, they need to analyze their life choices. What are your thoughts on fetchlings? Their ancestry feats, especially, they seem very niche. They're super niche. I'm playing one. Campaign's on hiatus, unfortunately, but I love them. I love the fetchlings. I think they're a really cool way to integrate a little bit of darkness to your character without needing to go full edgelord. I love that they're from the Shadow Plane. I think that's, or whatever it's called in PF2. I love them. I think they're super flavorful. I love their design. And they did it. They made fetch happen. I have a Magus player that keeps playing their Magus like a wizard. They have +1 int, but keep trying to cast spells at a distance instead of spell strike. Advice. Oh. I would say either make sure they understand how the class works, make sure they know how it all works. If they do and insist on it, give them a chance to re-roll their stats or reset their stats, or maybe get a class change to a wizard if that's really what they want to go for. Otherwise, that's their own discretion, you know? There's not much you can do for someone who's choosing to play that way if they really want to. But let them know, you know, if they get sick of missing all their spells and failing all their DCs, it's because they're not playing the class the way it was meant to be played. 300 people on stream, let's freaking go. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Only 114 likes though, come on, SMH, SMH. How can I get into Pathfinder Society? Go to paizo.com, sign up, look at organized play. Bang, bang, boozle. They also have it for Starfinder, and I think to some limited extent, PF1 still. Will you do Adventure Path review and ranking? Zlattle, oh my god, the fact that you bring that up. I spent like 3 hours starting a script and doing research because yesterday's video, or no, it was gonna be Friday's video, was going to be which adventure path should you play. I was so close. But about 2 rankings in, I realized this was going to be a huge undertaking, a long freaking video. But also, B, my issue is that I haven't played them. I got into the script, and after a while, I'm like, this is inauthentic. This is not real. I'm not actually being helpful. I'm just describing them because I don't know what the second book of Abomination Vaults looks like. I don't know anything about Age of Ashes or Bloodlords or Gatewalkers because I've never played them, and it would be unfair for me to try to give you advice to play something I've never played myself. So unfortunately, no, I don't think I will be posting a ranking just because I haven't played them. And at this point, there's no way I have enough time to play through, you know, the 3 years of adventure paths. Like, how am I gonna... In what world? Let me see here. Ugh. I haven't even played these. And this is like 1 adventure path and 6 short adventures. This is what this is so heavy. I haven't even played these. Like, how am I supposed to get caught up? This is just Strength 1000. I've got Bloodlords Part 1, Gatewalkers Part 1, Quest for the Frozen Flame Part 1, Ruby Phoenix 1, A-Vaults 1. Like, there's no way I could ever get caught up on these. Thanks for answering all my questions and providing great guides. Thank you, Gabriel, for being beautiful. Appreciate it. I see another question. Let me just put these down because I'm getting very, very tired. There's so much. There's so much. And I just prefer to homebrew. You know, I prefer to write a story with my friends that no one else has ever experienced. The other question was, we love your streams too. Thank you, Draconic. We don't have enough time in life. Can we just get like 10-day weeks? That'd be great. Single player adventure path speedrun. Okay, Anonymous. Actually, I've had that idea. We only did 1 session, unfortunately. It was super freaking fun, and I want to get back to it. But me and 2 friends, I posted about it on Twitter about 6 months ago. We started playing through Abomination Vaults strictly as a board game. There was no roleplay. There was no talking to to NPCs. It was just, let's go combat. Which room next? Okay, there. Let's go combat. Next room. Okay, this is a hazard. Roll the things. Okay, next room. Combat. Let's go. It was so fun. The game works so freaking well as just a board game. Oh my god. Maybe I'll make a video on that. That would be a fun one at some point. Bring on a friend and just like one-on-one play it. Oh, it feels great. Let's see. I saw someone ask about the Thessalonian Rune Mage. I love them. I think they're super flavorful. I almost played a Thessalonian Rune Mage Wizard of Sloth with the leg chair companion. He was going to be like 350 pounds, just sit in his leg chair companion, let it carry him around, and just like shoot spells out of his fingertips. I was so excited to play him, but it just did not fit the vibe of the campaign, so I avoided it. But I still want to play that character someday. He's just this like regal, pompous, noble prick. What are these society games you speak of? You search the website tabs and come up empty. It's called Organized Play, Sarah. Here, let me see if I can show y'all. If I go to Paizo. I can't spell. Oh my goodness. Paizo.com. If we go to site. Oh, actually, I can just show you there. Organized Play, Pathfinder Society, right there. Boop. There you go. Explore, report, cooperate. This is how it all works. Yeah, like, it goes deep. Pathfinder Society goes deep. You actually choose a faction for your character to represent within the society. It's rad. It's an ever-expanding story. I love Pathfinder Society. Music too loud? I haven't heard anyone complain about that before, but I'll turn it down like a smidge. Oh, was it louder on that? It was probably louder on that tab. Sorry. Hopefully it showed off, though. Sorry, yeah, I forgot that different tabs have different levels. Any advice on encouraging players to interact with each other as their characters instead of just talking out of game player to player? Without being too overbearing, not really. It's something you can't really force, you know? The best way you could do it is to have people doing it as an example, but you don't want to say, you guys need to talk to each other in character. That's how you play the game. No, that's never going to work. It's different people play the game different, you know? I was in a 6-person campaign once. Only 2 people talked in character. Everyone else, you know, was the classic, you know, my character does this. My character says something like this. Both completely valid types of play. You do not have to speak in character to roleplay. Strongly recommend Organized Play. It's amazing. You do make some great friends. What's really cool about Organized Play is you are likely to run into the same people. Even if you don't talk out of game, eventually, if you play often enough, you'll get back into a game and be like, wait a minute, you're the gnome barbarian who worked with me in Lions of Katapesh. We're both level 4 now. What's up? It's a really cool little world. Wizard witches have conceal spell, bards and druids have their own version, but psychic spellcasting has no verbal material components. Does this mean their spells can always be concealed? I don't remember the caveat. Read the psychic spellcasting special. They have something specific about that. I don't think they have verbal components, but they do still have somatic. Limited spell slots are a pain with the Magus. Do you think archetyping into other classes is the best way to get more spells? Yes. If you're looking for more spell slots to spell strike with, archetypes are your friend. Wizard archetype on the Magus is incredibly powerful. But also, don't forget that cantrips are insane. Cantrips in PF2 are almost as strong as slotted spells. If you're a level 5 Magus with a greatsword, let's say you have a striking greatsword that's 2d12, probably an 18 strength, 2d12 plus 4, and you attack with a spell strike to produce flame at level 5, that's 2d12 plus 3d4 plus 4 plus your intelligence modifier on one attack. That's insane. If we just look at averages, that's 6 plus 6 is 12 plus 4, 3d4 is an average of an extra 6, that's 18, plus 4 is 22, plus let's say 3 intelligence, that's 25 damage on average. Pleasing.
Even if it's nothing too serious, it seems like a fun skirmish thing to play.
So that's what I was just talking about, Blazing Glory, is me and my friends, they both controlled 2 characters. We just went through Abomination Vaults as a dungeon for the first floor. We just went through combat. It feels amazing. The game keeps flowing. You just get to enjoy the mechanics. The mechanics stand alone. That's what makes PF2 such a great game. The roleplay, icing on the cake, it's still, the roleplay is always going to be as good as your party makes it, because roleplay can't be made into a mechanic. Roleplay is such a unique thing to your group that no matter what game you're playing, it's not really going to affect how good the roleplay is. Some systems facilitate it better, like City of Mist is all about facilitating roleplay, whereas Pathfinder 2e expects you to roleplay along with the mechanics, but the mechanics stand alone. That PF2 would almost work as a board game with no roleplay involved. Would you consider an extra spell slot using Divine Evolution from a sorcerer archetype on a cleric the same as an extra an extra spell slot using Divine Evolution from a sorcerer archetype on a cleric the same as an extra channel slot? I don't remember what Divine Evolution does. Divine Evolution... Get an additional spell slot at their highest level. Oh, yeah, it's the same thing. It works the exact same way. Yeah. It would just use your sorcerer charisma instead of cleric wisdom. Curse of Strahd from 5e works really well in that style, especially since it ends up feeling like a Castlevania game. I would play Curse of Strahd 2e. I'm sure someone's working on converting it. I would totally play that. I've still never touched Curse of Strahd. I don't know anything other than everybody calls Strahd Daddy. Just got Abomination Vaults. Is it more fun or scary? It's not that scary. It's much more action-packed because there's always something going on in Abomination Vaults. I would say more fun, you know? It is not inherently scary. There's some moments. There's some serious moments as you get deeper in, but it's going to rely on the GM just how scary they want to make it. You know, it's very easy to say like, oh, you get attacked by a red goopy slime, roll initiative. But that same room with a different GM could say you enter the room and the scent of death instantly washes over you. The room is incredibly dim as streaks of sunlight barely make it this far into the vaults. From the corner, you hear a sloshing and crunching sound as what appears to be a mound of moving human blood lurches towards you, bones and skulls sticking out of it from all directions as its attention is focused on you. Roll me initiative. Both the same scene, both equally valid, one a little more unnerving. Oh no, I'm GM1! Hi, Andrew. Ladies and gentlemen, Beardbox is my GM. Oh my god, that killed me. Holy cow. Strahd is not daddy.
That's so cool.
Do you think they'll add the...
They will ever add the vigilante?
It already exists, Matt Groff.
Do you think that the alter ego archetype makes...
Doesn't Vigilante already exist as an archetype? Vigilante got added as an archetype in the Advanced Player's Guide. Yeah, it's never going to be a class. It's already an archetype. Which, yeah, it's basically alter ego. But I think it's different than alter ego. Isn't alter ego its own archetype? Yeah, it's different. The Vigilante gives you 2 personalities, which you can use for, like, society and roleplay. But yeah, it's never going to be a class. It's only an archetype. What are your thoughts on PF2's special senses? I, as a GM, don't use them enough. Scent and Tremor Sense, I think they're great. I think they're fantastic. I don't bring them up enough, which is my problem. What is your thought on the viability of a Sylph Magus in PF2? Like a Sprite? Like a Sprite Sylph Magus? It'd be tough because they take a penalty to strength. If you're using the free Ancestry new rule, where you can just give free bonuses however you want, I think it's fine. Otherwise, you're taking a -2. It's not the end of the world, or -1 to actual attack rolls. Not the end of the world, but still great. It's still fun. How does the Thaumaturge's mortal weakness and personal antithesis interact with the Alchemist bombs with splash or persistent damage? It doesn't interact at all. You don't inflict a universal weakness on a creature. Mortal weakness allows your attacks to take advantage of an existing weakness. If you're weak to fire, your attacks can trigger that weakness to fire. You don't make it worse. Your personal antithesis just gives them a weakness to your attacks. Your alchemist can't take advantage of that weakness because it's only to your attacks. How many reactions have you seen one player actually use in a round of combat? Only one, but that's because I've never played past level 10. Once you're like level 12 and beyond, that's when the feats for additional reactions per turn start coming into play, especially for like swashbucklers and champions. Sprite is Tiny Fey Boy. True. Oh, no, that's right. Sylph is the Geniekin. That's right. I think it'd be pretty good. They get some inherent spells. I think that'd be fine. Yeah, they get like Shocking Grasp and stuff, I think. Discovered something recently and wanted other GMs to hear about it. The back of wrapping paper has 1x1 squares. Yep, absolutely. That's very true. I've seen that going around for the last few years. It's a really nice hack. All right, I'm going to run to the bathroom because I have drank my entire G Fuel and I have to pee. So I'm going to run some of y'all an ad. The rest of you are just going to get to look at... Hold on. There. Be right back. Alright, y'all. This stream isn't spicy enough. This stream... Oh my god, we lost 50 viewers. Oh my god. Oh, Teddy Ursa, you did this. Bye-bye. Oh god, I just realized y'all got to see how disgusting my keyboard was. I'm so sorry. Alright. This stream has not been spicy enough. I am calling y'all out. Let's go hot takes. Give me your hottest takes for Pathfinder 2E so I can smack you around and tell you why you're wrong. Let's go. Hit me. Don't hold back. I want to hear your biggest gripes, your biggest complaints, or just things that you don't think people will agree with. Let's go. You're gonna play an Oscillating Wave Psychic soon and want to multiclass into Witch for some extra spell slots. You think this is viable? Sure. Spellcaster into Spellcaster is always gonna be decent. Just keep in... And, oh yeah, and you're gonna be intelligence-based, so that'll be totally fine. Yeah. Spellcaster into Spellcaster is always useful, especially if they're the same ability score. Oracle is not as complicated as people say it is. Go. I exaggerate it. I will agree with you. I will agree with that hot take. But I also believe it is still the most complicated class in the game. I have never exaggerated saying that. It's weird trying to learn the minor, moderate, extreme, and severe curse levels only being unlocked at certain levels, but still being overwhelmed by doing it at a certain point because you use too many focus spells in the same day. Because when you use a focus spell, you gain the curse, but when you refocus to get the focus point back, you don't reduce your curse back down. So if you use it again, it goes back up, and when you rest, it goes back down to 0 unless you were overwhelmed, in which case it only goes back down to minor. I hate the Oracle. That wasn't even like that wasn't even like a Puffin Forest style over exaggeration. That was just me explaining how it works. I really don't like the Oracle. Oh man, I gotta scroll up. This is going fast. Why do you consider Gunslinger a support class? I'm not impressed by the class, and the supportive skills seem to be shallow or weak. What do you think about it? Oh god, I haven't even looked at Gunslinger in a long time. Gunslinger is not an outright reliable... Oh, so hot take. A wit-based goblin swashbuckler will deal insane damage with their finishers at higher levels. Yeah, that's just true. all swashbucklers will do insane damage with finishers at higher levels. They're swashbucklers. I actually forget why I claimed it was a support class. That was back at the playtest. I think my main message about it was that the Gunslinger is never going to be your main form of DPS. They're going to inflict some cool status conditions, namely frightened quite a bit, which is going to make everyone else more accurate. And when they do hit, they're going to do big pop damage, but they're not going to be consistent enough with their attacks. Hot take, Magus is the best class for non-binary people? I don't see how that correlates. I think it's rad. Is it because it's both, it's not just a martial and it's not just a spellcaster? It's its own thing? I like that. That's sweet. How does the dex cap on armor work? Is it only on the AC or is it a general dex thing? Only for armor class. When dex cap is listed under armor, it means you only get to apply that much dex bonus to your armor class. If something gives +5 to armor class with a dex cap of +2, that means you can only get a total of +7 out of that armor. Divine spell list isn't as bad as people say it is. True. I will say true with an asterisk. Level 1 doesn't feel great as a Divine Caster. Divine Casters don't get a lot of options at level 1. I think they only have one offensive spell slot, which feels bad. But it's not a bad spell at all.
The humble bundle for Pathfinder is going on still for 22 more hours.
Oh, it's still up?
This is a good time to spend $25 to get your friends into the game.
Hey, you heard it here first, folks. Humble Bundle's got 22 hours left on a Pathfinder 2E bundle to get a bunch of good stuff. Go check it out. Absolutely. Every time I join one of your streams, it's the weird part where you're eating something or AFK. I'm usually eating something or AFK, to be fair. Oracle isn't all that hard to play. once you understand it. That can be said of anything once you understand it. The hard part is understanding it. Catnap is underrated. Catnap is useless. Catnap is a useless feat. It's absolute garbage. My bard player isn't having fun as they mainly just inspire courage and electric arc almost every round, and they see lingering performance as a waste of time. How high is their performance? Do they have a shabby performance skill? The DC isn't that hard, and if you fail, you don't waste anything. The only time lingering performance isn't worth it is when you crit fail. You get the focus point back if you fail. There's no reason not to use lingering performance. Let's see. What's up, Caleb? Oracle's better than Cleric? Disagree. Cleric's got all them free heals and harms. It's insane. It's dumb that there's still so few general feats. Agreed. Hard agree. We're working on that in Sinclair's. Gish characters are the best flavor in TTRPGs, and Paizo is wrong to limit them? Disagree. I personally don't believe mechanics should have any say on the flavor of your character. You do not have to be just the way something is described. You know, sure, my fighter uses daggers. Maybe they dual wield daggers, but I can describe one of them. You know, it's as much as you want to describe them. You can flavor your character any way you want. One dagger can be constantly coated red and infinitely dripping blood because it's cursed by the death of his mother, who imbued the dagger with special powers that maybe the GM can work with later, but the curse is that the blood of his mother is constantly dripping from the blade, reminding him that he lost her. This has changed nothing about my mechanics, but the flavor is there. Trained Expert Master Legendary should be... Oh my god, everything just jumped forward. Trained Expert Master Legendary... Someone just say this. Hold on. Did someone just actually say this about... Trained Expert Master Legendary should be plus 1, 2, 3, 4 in encounters, but plus 3, 6, 9 to... That is the worst take I've ever seen. That's the worst take I've ever seen, Quag. Oh, God, no. Do not change my bonuses based on where I'm doing something. Gag me. Clerics need extra doctrine options 100%. Your cleric should not just be bonk or cast. There should be way more to it. Alright, I'm going to have to jump ahead because I'm falling behind chat. Oh my god. Most class feats are lame, especially if you're a spellcaster. I disagree, but I do agree that spellcaster feats are limited. But that's by design, because they have spells. If spellcasters got amazing feats and amazing spells, they would fall behind martials. And hard disagree that martial feats are lame. Martial feats are freaking insane. Double slice, point blank shot, triple shot, freaking whirlwind strike, rain of arrows or whatever it's called. That's all just fighter. God, I love class feats. Fighters should be nerfed to make combat easier for the rest of us. As much as I joke about it, no. Fighters do not need a nerf. Fighters' average damage is actually still lower than a barbarian. A barbarian hitting is actually doing a little bit, only just a little bit less than a fighter critting. So, as much as I like to joke that fighter crits are insane, they are about on par with other things like a precision ranger or a barbarian. I've been working with not adding level to proficiency to wean D&D players. This is not scaling well. I hate proficiency without level. If you're playing proficiency without level, it's not going to work with PF2. Some people swear by it, but they just want it to be more like PF1 and stick with bounded scaling. The system was not designed with bounded accuracy in mind, and as such, it will not feel good to play. Multi-part question. I have a PF2 ranger using twin short swords. Should I give him a ranged weapon, and which one? Highest ability scores are strength, con, and int, and can move points around if needed. I say every single character should have a ranged option. Doesn't even have to be that accurate, you know? Even if you only got a 10 dexterity, it's still worth having one on hand to take advantage of range. Because if you're on a hill, and an enemy needs to spend 2 rounds running towards you, then you get free attacks. Even if they're less accurate, it's worth having, even if you rarely use it. You running towards them is not going to give you any advantage. Skill feats aren't interesting enough. Agreed. Skill feats have a lot of places to be expanded upon. Again, something we're working on. There's a lot to do for skill feats. But at the same time, you don't want to make them too strong. They shouldn't be better than class feats. My bard is at level 3 right now, so it's hit or miss with the DC. I understand they don't waste a focus point on failing, but they don't want to make combat feel longer. I mean, it doesn't really make any... How long is a roll taking? I got to roll lingering performance. I got a 5. That's a 14. That failed? Cool, I'm done. Javelin with Returning Rune is surprisingly good. I love the Returning Rune. Returning is so underrated. I love it. Can you briefly explain how to handle city exploration? Not really, because I just sort of handle it like normal roleplay. My players want to go somewhere, they go there. Something happens, they roleplay. I have never used exploration mode in any game. I just sort of let my players do what they want to do. If they want to do a certain exploration activity, I absolutely let them. But I handle it, just on a case-by-case basis. I let them do it. I let them roll something. Oh, they're going to gather information? Yeah, roll me society. Oh, they're trying to find a specific person? Roll me perception. They're trying to listen in at the gates to hear some banter between the guards? Roll me stealth. Like, I just handle it as an RP experience. I don't use exploration mode. New wheelchair / crutch in Treasure Vault? Yes, there's new accessibility items in Treasure Vault, and they're freaking fire. Hot take, the flavor text for inside ropes is too much flavor? What? Like the item rope? Oh, the inside rope spell. Oh god, I love this. Alright, yo, just in case you're unaware, Bloodlords came out with a new cantrip. Allow me to regale you. Allow me to, here, bring this in, bring it in. Allow me to regale you with the text of inside ropes. You pull a large handful of guts from your midsection. Removing these guts doesn't harm you. You can use the guts as 50 feet of rope to help you climb, and they attach you to a wall. You move half as quickly while climbing with your guts, minimum 5 feet, but you can attempt a DC 5 flat check whenever you critically fail to prevent a fall. Other creatures can use your guts to climb like a squishy rope, but the guts don't help anyone but you attached to a wall. If you let go of your guts, or your guts are damaged, the spell ends. It is one of the most metal, creepy spells in the game, and I absolutely love it. Just... whoo! So gross. I adore it. One of my friends played PF2 for the first time and used that cantrip in-game. It was disgusting. I need to play Bloodlords. I want to play Bloodlords so bad. I want to play that in Gatewalker. Clockwork Makahudil. I think it's a weapon. It's an 800 plus gold investment for a mediocre advanced weapon. Most advanced weapons are mediocre. That's a huge gripe I have with PF2. Most of the advanced weapons are not worth the proficiency for like 1 or 2 extra traits. Especially because they usually come with a penalty to attack. Like if you're a fighter and you want to use an advanced weapon, that's a -2 to attack. Do I have a favorite monster? And if so, why? Off the top of my head, it's hard. I love so many monsters in Pathfinder 2e because they're so interesting. And the artwork is just absolutely gorgeous. Unfortunately, I haven't GM'd in a while, so I don't have many monsters in my mind right now. God. There's a monster that I've used. It's probably one of my favorites. It's not actually officially in PF2, at least not yet. It's one of the minor spawns of Rovagug. Hopefully someone in chat can remember the name, because I always forget the name, because it's really, really weird. But it's basically a spider with a human head as the torso, surrounded by, like, goop. It's... the Tooth Fairy? The Tooth Fairies are fun. They're disgusting and terrifying. But yeah, Andrew was there in this campaign. They fought it, but I can't remember what it is. Hopefully... yeah. Oh yeah, Spider Gary. Of course, it's Spider Gary. But yeah, it's like a human head with spider legs, and it spews acid. It's a spawn of Robogug. I love that creature. I've used it 2 or 3 times. It's not the Drider. How would you build a Bugbear Ancestry Heritage? Bonus to Strength. Penalty, probably to Dexterity, just because they're a little bit lumbering. Other bonus to Constitution, even though they try to avoid bonuses to Constitution. Heritages would be tough. I don't know enough about Bugbears. Kothagaz, was it a Quelaag? I don't think it was a Quelaag. That's Dark Souls. Wait, that's Dark Souls. No, I've never... Actually, maybe... I think I can probably find it in one of my old messages here. Hold on. We're going deep for this. We're going deep because it is my favorite monster. Can I find it? Let me see. Did we talk about it? Because I talked about it with one of my patrons a long time ago. But I'm struck. Okay. Oh, wait. This is it. That's right. It looks a little bit different than how I thought about it. But, here, let me save image. So this is how it officially looks. I always imagined it more spider-like with a human head as the torso. But it actually looks like this. I love this thing. It's so creepy. I absolutely adore it. I don't know if anybody remembers the name of this thing, but I absolutely love this. It's one of my favorite monsters just because it's so horrendous. Is Obscuring Mist more useful in 2E than it is in 1E? Obscuring Mist gives people like a 20% chance to miss you. That's about it. Any beginner tips for RP/social interactions with NPCs? I'm new to TTRPGs and have a hard time thinking of what to say or ask. Honestly, don't think too hard. More importantly, think about what your character would say rather than what you will say, and never be afraid. If you are uncomfortable talking in character, I'm going to get rid of this off screen. If you are uncomfortable talking in character, never be afraid to say, Mordecai asks them if they have any healing potions in stock. You know, you don't have to say, greetings, good wench. How are you doing? My name's Mordecai. I hope you're enjoying the lovely weather. I was actually curious if you've got any healing potions in stock. Preferably some a little bit stronger than the lowbrow, but not too expensive. You know where I'm coming from. Both completely valid. It's totally fine to say, Mordecai asks if there's any healing potions. Completely fine. That's my best bet. If you're uncomfortable trying to come up with specifics, just describe what they're doing. I'll be playing my first game of Pathfinder in a few weeks. It's a zombie survival type campaign. I'll be playing an alchemist. Let's go. Any tips? Have fun with it. Do not let the rules get in the way. Enjoy the game. And don't let the rules slow you or your table down. Let's see. Hello, I'll be getting my... Where did I go? I was just started reading the same message twice. What the hell? Scared of using Galarian and destroying the world. How would you build a campaign using Galarian? My go-to is pick a place, learn what makes it interesting, build a campaign around it. That's what I do. I looked at my first PF2 campaign. I saw Kadira. I'm like, that's a cool region. I like Kadira. I like the cities and stuff there. There's a lot of genie history around Kadira. I made a campaign around a genie. Done. You can make an OP trap if the setup time and requirements makes up for it. I mean, yeah, you can put like 50 traps down, I guess. Handwave shopping or RP depends on how important and how much the players want to. If the players want to go on a shopping spree, I will RP the hell out of it. If they'd rather just buy it, cool. I always ask. Personally, I'm not afraid to ask as a GM. I'm saying, all right, do y'all want to RP this or do you just want to buy your stuff and keep going? It's always up to the players. Do you use physical miniatures and tiles to play with some online tools? I play with some online tools, but I typically go Theater of the Mind. The most I'll use is Owlbear Rodeo, though one of my campaigns is using Foundry. Trap rules in PF2 can be very confusing and convoluted. Do you mean like hazards, Bernardo, or like ranger snares? RP and out of character are text chat? Oh, that sounds like a really weird campaign. Yeah, I don't know how much help there then. If you're only doing combat in voice, that's a little bit rough. Crafting time should be reduced by proficiency. Also, Arcane Thesis is just as important as Arcane School. Staff Nexus is fantastic. I love Staff Nexus. Crafting time being reduced by proficiency, it might make it overpowered. I like what they tried to do with complex crafting. I don't like how crafting is done, but making a legendary crafter just able to craft every day is not the answer. Question, if you've thought about it, what is your take for why Galarian is missing from Space and Starfinder? I love that this is not canonically known by anybody. Personally, I love... you know what? I'm going to steal the canon theory from one of my friends' campaigns. I'm not going to say who. Hopefully they're in here. And if they want to claim ownership, they can. But I love their campaign. Near the end of Pathfinder 2E's lifespan, or just Pathfinder's lifespan, when people are working on Absalom Station, they are working and preparing Absalom Station to be launched, Rovagug began to wake up. You know, Rovagug was like this close to being released. So the gods actually put Galarian in a pocket dimension. Galarian exists in its own small pocket dimension. And once Absalom Station launched, the gods allowed it out of the pocket dimension, but kept the rest of the planet there to seal Rovagug inside. One of my friend's campaigns is taking place in that pocket dimension as Absalom Station is being worked on, and it's so freaking cool, and I love that canon theory. That the gods just put Galarian away to keep Rovagug out. Who is that for us not familiar with Pathfinder lore? Rovagug is the god of destruction. Rovagug is the chaotic evil god of destruction. Doesn't care who you are, what you stand for. They are the murder hobo god. They see you, they want you to die. The end. They want everything to crumble. My opinion on Call of Cthulhu, love it. My favorite roleplay system. Very close to City of Mist. I don't actually know which one I like better. Call of Cthulhu is fantastic. I love it. I think the roleplay potential for Call of Cthulhu is great. I love playing as normal humans with normal human abilities. Feels amazing. My theory is Aerodin came back and stole Galarian? I don't know. I think Aerodin's dead. I think Aerodin is dead and gone. Having done the research into his history and lore, I think Aerodin is dead. You don't just lose contact with your god like that. What caused the memory wipe in Starfinder's history? Oh, I didn't actually know there was a memory wipe. I'm not super familiar with Starfinder lore. I know the very, very, very shallow surface level. I didn't know people forgot Galarian existed. Yo, Cinder's here. Now it's a party. Let's go. Ever played GURPS? No. My dad bought me and my brothers GURPS when I was like 9 years old. He was going to teach us how to roleplay and play tabletop role-playing games. And my mom said it was the devil, so he never taught us because she wouldn't let him. It was really sad. Still love her, but yeah, she was very much like, roleplay is the devil, I'm not letting you teach them the Satan's game. Can't wait for your lore videos. I really want to make more. It's hard though. They don't pull numbers. I knew it wouldn't, but I need to make more because it's so different. I would love that to be an integral part of my channel. The hard part is they require so much time and effort to make, and they're such shorter form content that they don't bring great ad revenue.
That's so cool.
It's tough.
If you've looked at it, what are your thoughts on the Pathfinder 2e version of Cthulhu?
Ooh, my thoughts on the new version of Cthulhu that came out from Sandy Peterson. Where is it? I know I have it here. Why, could you potentially be talking about this? This is the 5e version, but yeah, if y'all weren't aware, Sandy Peterson actually is making, or probably at this point has made, this is like 2 years ago, like, it's a Call of Cthulhu campaign in 5e. Like, it's the full-on 5e world and everything, but it's Call of Cthulhu, written by Sandy Peterson. I've played through, like, the first half of this book. Fantastic. Amazing. It was D&D 5e because the Pathfinder version wasn't ready, but I can't recommend it enough. They gave this to me for free, like, 2 years ago to play through, and I absolutely loved it. Is there a way to have more than one reaction? It's tough. It's possible, but it's usually reserved for high-level class feats, and they're usually for specific reactions. Like, I think at level 8, a fighter can get a feat that lets them have an extra reaction that lets them raise shield. I love how this hobby is intergenerational. I'll never forget the young daughters of one of my spouse's oldest friends earnestly telling me that druids are overrated. I love how this hobby just breaks generations. You know, I know 18, 19-year-olds who are adoring it. I know people in their 60s and 70s that have been playing since they were kids, and I love talking to everybody about it. I love getting all the different perspectives on it and coming together and just sharing the love of this hobby. It's fantastic. Are there any ancestries that have an at-will first or second level spell? They don't. There is currently none, and that's weird because there's a feat that specifically interacts with it. I can't remember what it is. I think it's like a spellcaster feat. But yeah, there are no first level at-will slotted spells for ancestries, and it's weird. If you're an investigator investigating a cult, can you devise a stratagem on all members of the cult? I think you can devise a stratagem on anybody. I don't think you need to be investigating someone to devise a stratagem. Yeah. You just do it once per round. You can't apply it to all of them at once, but yeah, you don't have to be investigating someone to devise a stratagem. Oh, he means it's a free action. That's tough. That's really tough because that sounds game breaking. Let me see. What's the actual wording on it? If you are aware that the creature you choose is the subject of a lead, not a subject. It says the subject. That's really tough. Because I feel like if the entire campaign is around fighting this cult, and you can just pursue a lead, and you get to do that for free for the entire campaign, that's busted. Like, I feel like you have to be specifically investigating that target, but also, I don't know, that's tough. That'd be really tough. I feel like I would let it work on the cult leader, but maybe not the cultists. No, I just want to say you're doing great. Got a question about Sinclair's library. Back to the project and super excited. Is it possible we'll see player options on Path Builder 2e and other apps? Yes, the plan is to get it on Path Builder and Foundry specifically. Yes, I don't actually know if we've reached out to Path Builder yet, but Path Builder added roll for combat, so we're hoping they'll add ours as well. It would be a GM call. Yeah, it'd be tough. Can a Ganzi with Crushing Tail and Gorilla Stance grab? What is the wording of Crushing Tail? Not Crushing Trail, Crushing Tail. I assume you mean Smashing Tail. No. No, it doesn't. Smashing Tail does not give you the ability to grab things. It doesn't let you use it as an open hand. So, no, it would not let you grab. Investigator can easily be too weak or too powerful. Yeah, it's very GM dependent. How about Wanderer's Guide? I hope so. I haven't actually talked to Wanderer's Guide in a long time. I think they're still doing good. I still use them from time to time. Yeah, I don't think we've reached out to them yet. Oh, man. Voice is starting to go. I need to stream more. I do really want to stream more. Because, man, this is fun. I really love talking to y'all one-on-one. Really getting the low down. You should, because that's what I use. Wait, what? What's that in reference to, Andrew? Oh, Wanderer's Guide. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, I do know a lot of people love Wanderer's Guide. Hydrate or dehydrate. I've been hydrating. I drank this whole thing and this whole thing this stream. ASMR stream to preserve voice. If I did, everyone would leave anyway. Ooh, that's right. No, I know what we'll close this out with. People were curious about Project Black Flag. I want to look at the playtest. Was it closed beta, though? Black Flag playtest. Playtest packet 1. Let me see if I can download this, and we'll look at that real quick. Yeah. All right. I want to take a look at this. Let's look at this together. Music warning. There we go. All right, fixed it. So, oh, actually, I want to open this actual boink. There we go. All right, Project Black Flag. I want to see what this is about. So, for those of you who don't know, Kobold Press, after the whole OGL situation, decided we don't want to publish for D&D 5e anymore because we're not comfortable with it, so we're going to make our own roleplay system. The concern I have going into this is that they were very quick to say, hey, we are going to base it on D&D 5e. So we'll see. Yeah, they've already basically called it D&D 5.1. It's awesome having you back as well, Trans Gamer Girl. It's been a wild 2 years, huh? Black Flag hopes to be what PF1 was at the end of 3.5. Yeah, here's the thing. If it can innovate enough, I'm here for it. If it's the same game, I'm going to be really upset. So, welcome to the Labyrinth, a fantastical universe of infinite worlds linked by twisting corridors of magic. Here you'll find realms like Midgard, Hades, the Dreadful Domains, and homebrew creation. Okay, so they're using real-world mythological spaces. Okay. Core Fantasy Role-Playing is an action-oriented role-playing game that pits a group of heroic adventurers against the myriad of dangers found in fantasy worlds. Their collaborative storytelling. Okay, it's very, very generic. Sure. What is a role-playing game? Sure. Roll the Game Master, roll the player, the dice. It uses the same dice. For now, all you need to know is that when you see something like 2d4 plus 2, you roll 2d4 plus 2. Yep. Occasionally, you will need to roll percentile. They're bringing percentile into it. Cool. Other tools you need. What's in this book? Cool, 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 cool. Core fantasy in a nutshell. Character creation, playing the game. Yep, all pretty standard. Fantasy worlds have magic, heroic adventures, unique locations to explore, power structures, and conflict. Character creation. Here we go. So, interesting. They're saying get a concept, but then start with class. All right, bold choice, starting with class. You will likely have a good idea of the types of things you want your character to do. Choosing your character's class is the most important factor in bringing those ideas to life. Every adventurer has a class that dictates the majority of their mechanical abilities. It can be helpful to think of a character's class like their job. Class features at first level, and lists other features you gain access to as you level up. Your choice of character class dictates proficiencies, which is a term describing what kind of equipment you are trained to use. Choosing your class can also help you make other decisions in the following steps. Level, 1st to 20th. Why are we still stuck on 1 to 20? Why 1 to 20? I'll never understand that. It's Pathfinder, it's D&D. Like, why not 50? Why not 100? Obviously, you don't want to level up too many times. Because it's a D20, there's no relevance there. Exactly, it's tradition. I feel like tradition is unnecessary. Innovate a little bit. I like old school. I like AD&D. Or even like Beckme, where it's like rogues can hit 20, dwarves can hit 10, fighters can hit 25. Yeah, it's really, really cool. I like 25 a lot, honestly. 25 is a good number. Too many options? Yeah, I guess it's easier to write 1 to 20. But like, I even don't mind Dungeon Crawl Classics. It only goes to 10. Level 1 to 10. I think that's rad. Make each level mean way more. Hit points and hit die. Yeah, first level. They went with highest plus con. First level fighter. Alright, seeing nothing new here yet. All the exact same. Determine ability scores. Alright. Same ability scores. Yep. Determine your ability scores. Roll 46s, add up the highest 3, so it's the exact same. Okay, interesting. Add 2 to one score that is 16 or... Oh, no, never mind. That's the same as 5e. It's the exact same. This is all 5e. It's all 1 to 1 5e. Higher numbers mean better odds for your character. Can never be higher than 20, which I'll never understand this either. This is in 5e as well. Why not? Why can't it go above 20 with magic items, you know? Once your scores are assigned, use the following charts to figure out your maximum ability scores. Yep.
That's so cool.
So cool. Same thing here. Bloat, I guess.
Where you could be as high a level as you want.
Sorry, Druid, you're stuck. Yeah, AD&D has just as many flaws as it does things, but I don't know. I really like AD&D. It's just such an interesting system. Point by, standard array, 8, 10, 12, 13, 15, 16, sure. Lineage and heritage. Adventurers can choose to be a human or can be one of the lineages common, like dwarf or elf. Are they gonna limit it to common stuff? Are they gonna limit it to like the main 5? Pro character's lineage informs certain hereditary traits. Okay. Let's see. Choose a background. Fill in the blanks. At this point, all the game rule decisions for your character should be locked in. Take some time to review and fill in any of the blanks. Hit die, spellcasting, skills, equipment, saves, proficiency, starting equipment, hit points, size, senses, movement speed. Luck points. I'm guessing this is going to be like hero points or inspiration. Information. Okay. Gaining levels start at 0. Gaining hit points. You roll. Add con. So there's nothing new here yet. This is... Get rid of level as a concept. See, I don't want to get rid of level. I love level. Although if you don't use level, I do still like advancement. I need advancement. My monkey brain needs to see number go up. I like how Call of Cthulhu does it. Very small, constant advancement. That's really, really, really nice. Same with City of Mist. In terms of tradition, I'm a bit bored by standard ability array. I'm so bored of standard ability array. Give me something new. Elements of lineage. Yeah, it sure is 5e. Dwarf. Size. Speed. Night vision. Interesting. They're calling it night vision, not dark vision. Huh. Resistance to poison, toughness, fire forge. That's the forge dwarves or whatever they're called. Typically 10 towards chaotic or neutral. Proficiency with glassblow or smith. Resistant to fire damage. Speak, read, and write Ignin. People have a deep connection with elemental fire. You'll know mending. That's cool. I like that they start with mending. That's really neat. Is that in 5e or is that new? Because I really like that. Common and mostly dwarvish. Stone dwarves. Dwarven weapon training. Dwarven armor training. Tool. Eye for quality. You can add your proficiency bonus to rolls with metalwork or masonry. If you have proficiency already, you double it. Okay, you can get like expertise with stuff. That's cool. That's new. All right. They're adding a few new abilities at least. But this still just feels like a mod. It doesn't feel like a new system. Cloud elves. I'm not going to worry about the specifics. Grove elves, nomadic heritage. How'd they handle humans? Okay. They gave humans heritages. Okay. Nomadic humans. Resilient. You have advantage on checks made to resist weather. Cool. Proficiency in survival. I like that. That's really cool. I like that they didn't just say humans are good at everything. I like that. That's really, really neat. Cosmopolitan. While in urban environments, you cannot be surprised, except when you're asleep. Whenever you make a check related to understanding the purpose or significance of a building, you can add or double it if you have proficiency. Okay. All right. Now you can mix and match lineage and heritage. Oh, did I miss that? Wait. Wait. When you create your character, you can choose whether your hereditary traits are human or one of the fantasy. You will also use this section to determine if you have heritage traits tied to your lineage.
Cool.
Okay.
Thanks for the content. Really made it a joy to learn Pathfinder 2.
Oh, thank you, Alex.
May this small 7.77 buy you something nice as a thanks.
You know what, Alex? Let me tell you what that 777 got me. You know what that 777 got me? That got me 2 Tony's pizzas, which were on sale, 2 for $7 that I bought yesterday. Thank you, Alex. Thank you for the pizza. Now I have to put this away. Was it worth it for the joke? Absolutely. 100% worth it. Every wasted second. Thank you, Alex, for the gift of pizza. You star. Interesting. Give me my pizza back.
That's so
Sorry, Tony, it's mine.
Human cultures being distinct from each other was my favorite.
Yeah, I really like when they give more flavor and mechanical difference to different types of humans, you know, rather than saying, there are so many humans, there's impossible to count, so they can do everything. Yeah, you can say the same about almost any of the different ancestries. Are Tony's pizzas good? No, but they're good enough. There's a reason they're 2 for $7. What is this PDF about? For those of you just joining us, this is the Project Black Flag playtest, Kobold Press's new RPG system, which is mostly D&D 5e. So, to determine if you have heritage traits tied to your lineage. I'm going to be DMing for local youth at our library. What's your best advice? Don't let the rules slow them down. Let them enjoy what makes the game fun. Make sure they understand the rules are there and rules do exist, and that you do enforce the basic rules and fundamentals of the game. But if one of the kids wants to use athletics to climb up the wall, jump, and hit them really hard with their axe, let them. They'll love it, they'll remember the story, and that'll get them immersed in the game, even if it's against the rules. Yeah, if combat's different, that'll be big. So wait, your heritage dictates certain abilities you have because of your connection to a particular group or culture. Choose one of the heritage details in your lineage, or choose one of the heritages detailed in a different lineage. Okay, now we're talking. Now we are talking, Black Flag. That's really, really cool. So, just because you're not a dwarf doesn't mean you didn't get raised by dwarf, or grow up in a dwarven city, or spend time studying the dwarves. You can be a human with the Fireforge heritage. Alright, you can be a cloud dwarf. That's what I'm talking about. They're taking Pathfinder 2E's heritage system to the next level, which is proper progression. I love this design. Let's go. That's really, really cool. Alright, so you can be like a cosmopolitan dwarf. I adore it. Alright, I'm here for it. Where's my halflings? You're really gonna do my halflings dirty? Kyle, they did me dirty. They did my halflings dirty. Where are my boys? Where are my gnomes? Where are they? I know it's a playtest and they'll be there, but I'm very upset. I'm very, very sad. Here you go. Okay, where are you going, honey? Where are you climbing to? I've got you. Would you like to say hi to the chat? You're really bad at streaming. Streams need to be like, go, content. You're not giving them anything, except for puppy dog eyes. You need to work on this, okay? I know you're only 2 years old, and your improv skills are still, like, forming, but if you're gonna be a full-time streamer, I'm gonna need to get some more effort out of you, okay? We'll talk about this later. Let's put you down here. There you go, girl. There you go. What are you... Oh no, you're in my shirt! Oh no, you're in my shirt! Oh no, you're in... There we go. Okay. Good girl. Alright, do you want a biscuit for that? Do you want a biscuit for being such a good girl? Let's get you a biscuit. Come on. I just put you on blast in front of like 250 people. Let's get you a biscuit. Come on. Let's go. Hold on. Can you perform for the chat? Can you show her how good you are? Hold up. Let me see if I can do this. Alright, girl, you ready? Come here. Ready? Sit. Spin. Down. Other. No, other. Good girl, shake. Good girl. She's amazing. I love this dog. I freaking love this dog. Oh, she's so sweet. She's such a freaking sweetie. All right. Such a pupper. She sure is a pupper. Does chat get a biscuit? Chat, you want a biscuit? Chat, get a biscuit? How are we doing on stream? How are we doing on time? 2:26. All right, we're slowing down, but we'll finish this up. Backgrounds, I'm guessing they're the same. Elements of a background, skill proficiencies, additional proficiencies, starting equipment, a talent. I'll get a biscuit emoji. I'll get a biscuit emote for chat. I do want to get emotes here, especially for my members. You know, I think you can get unique emotes here on YouTube officially. I know there's an add-on for Twitch emotes, but I think we can get one for YouTube, and I'm gonna work on it. Each background allows a character to choose one talent from a short list of options. These options are typically a mix from all 3 talent lists, so they may represent a unique opportunity to grab a talent from a list your class may not have access to. Okay. Scholar. As a scholar, you have spent time researching particular. Choose a talent, polyglot, school specialization, or trade skills. Okay. So these all get you an interesting talent. So if you're like a wizard who used to be a soldier, you could still get armor training. All right, I'm picking you up. I'm picking up what you are putting down. Yeah, I know it's a renamed feat, but I'm still here for it. Elemental Savant. All right, wait, are these talents over here? Talents. Talents represent the specific ways an adventurer has improved over the course of their adventures. Talents are divided. Did I just read something? How about level 6, 12, and 19 plus 1, 2, 3 spell attack bonus runes? It won't destroy the balance of the game, but it will make spellcasters inherently better than marshals. Because it'll let them get away with some insane stuff with more accuracy. When a character chooses their background during character creation, they select one talent from a list. When a character class grants an improvement... I hate this. I still hate this. Come on. Just make them automatic. Don't make us choose between an arbitrary bonus of a +1 to strength, which everyone's going to want to pick because it's just better, or a situational talent. It sucks no matter which way you slice it, But 9 times out of 10, a flat bonus is gonna be better than a situational ability. That's why they don't overlap in PF2. That's why improvements are different from feats. This makes me so upset. Change this. Let us get both. Give us both. Combat casting. You want to see it on con saves to concentrate. Ooh. When someone provokes an opportunity attack, you can cast a cantrip. Is that in 5e or is that new? Krieger! Hello! Glad you survived class. I've been seeing you on Twitter. Fantastic to see you. You can use a shield or weapon you were holding as a spellcasting. Yo, that's rad. I love this. I love combat casting. Let's go. Choose one of the following elemental types. Whenever you cast a spell that deals damage, you can convert the damage to your chosen type. Yo! You must decide to convert the damage type when you declare you are casting the spell. Ugh! When you roll damage for a spell that naturally uses your chosen type, you can reroll ones. Yo, that's great weapon fighting, but for elemental magic. Huge! Sheesh! My god, that's rad. That's really rad. Mental fortitude. Once per long rest, when you fail mental save, you can reroll it. If you're affected by an ongoing... Oh, so they're using the 6 different saves, too. Ugh, I hate that system. I hate the 6 different saves system. That's one of my least favorite things about 5e. How often are you making a strength save? What calls for strength saving throws? Or, like, an intelligence saving throw? You know, what does that? Shoves? That's not con? That's not a con save to sit in place? Ugh, God, I hate it. What I would so much prefer, and this would have been, again, innovative. I want innovation. Go back to Fortitude, Wisdom, and Reflex, but give you a choice. Fortitude uses the higher of your strength or con. Reflex uses the higher of your intelligence or dexterity. You're either fast enough to get out of the way or smart enough to position yourself. Let will saves use charisma, force of personality, or wisdom, mental fortitude. I like that better. I'm describing the 4th edition save system. Give me that. Give us that, not the stupid 6 saves. I hate that. I hate 6 different saving throws. God. Sorry. +1 to attack rolls with specific schools of magic. +1 to DCs with that magic. Half the golden time to copy a spell of that school into your thing. Cool. I like it. Strength saves for getting crushed or holding something open. But again, if you're holding something open, if you're trying to hold open a gate, I'm not going to say, make me a strength save. I'm going to say, roll me athletics to keep it open. Use your athletics to push harder. I'm not going to say, roll your inherent strength and don't use any of your athletics training or strategy. That's just horrible. Armor training. You gain proficiency with light armor if you already have light, medium. Yeah. Armored combat. If you're wearing heavy, gain +1 to AC for each instance of bludgeoning, piercing. Wait. While wearing heavy armor, you gain +1 to armor class. And each instance of bludgeoning... Oh, okay. I read it wrong. +1 to AC and reduced damage taken by PB. Cool. I dig that. Combat conditioning. You get it's better toughness. It's twice as good as toughness. All right. Dig it, dig it. I like that these talents are amazing. They're really, really strong, which is even worse that you now have to pick between this or a stat up. Too many of the saves are just so rare. Exactly. Like, I don't think it's possible to make it where they're not rare. Like, you have 6 different things to call for. It's ridiculous. Whenever you gain a level... Your new hit die is 1 size larger. Is that part of that same one? Wow, combat conditioning is insane. Increase your hit die by a size and +2 health per level? Wow! That's massive. Your D10 becomes a D12. If you got a 16 con, you're getting 5 extra hit points. Hand to hand. You're proficient with unarmed strikes, 1d6 plus strength. Sure. Technical talents, okay? Polyglot. 3 languages, advantage on charisma checks made to interact with... Oh my god! What? Oh my god! That's broken. That's absolutely broken. If your campaign takes place in an elven country and you just take polyglot elvish, you win. No one will ever say no to you again for the rest of time. What is that? What? Like, sure, you can't pick common. Oh no. You still get 3 languages that if you speak them with someone who speaks it, you get advantage. What? I've never seen roleplay get overpowered. That is not good advantage design. Not a chance. That is obscenely powerful. My God. Imagine you're doing an adventure in the Underdark and you take Undercommon. You win. You just win everything. I keep forgetting, this is a playtest. It's gonna be fixed. They're gonna fix that. They're not gonna leave that. Oh, man. Whenever you make an ability check... Yeah, you can't take uncommon. Doesn't say anything about undercommon. Whenever you make an ability check related to understanding the meaning of a verbal or written language you don't know, you can add proficiency bonus. That's cool. I like that. You're better at learning and understanding languages. This is Black Flag. Fun. Trade skills. Ooh. Proficiency with 1 skill and 1 type of tool or vehicle. I like that they add vehicle in there. Alternatively, gain proficiency with 2 types of tools or vehicles. Provided you have access to the necessary equipment and customers, you can spend a day plying your trade to make 2 gold. All right, chat, what do you want? Infinite advantage on all charisma checks for the rest of the campaign? Or 2 gold for a day work? Would you like 2 gold or infinite advantage? Hold on. Is there a 5e? Is there a 5e magic item that gives you advantage on charisma saves? Hold on. Is there like a potion of... Is there like a silver tongue elixir? Need the gold for pizza. Is there a silver tongue elixir or something like that? Okay, you know what, just for the sake of time, it's not going to be a perfect... It's not going to be a perfect representation. But like, let's see. In Pathfinder 2e, +1 to a charisma check is 4 gold. Well, let's give advantage. Let's call advantage +2. We all know technically advantage is +5. If you're talking about average, advantage is plus like 5. +2 is 12 gold, and you can do it as many times as you want. Or 2 gold per day. Once you're like a level 6 character, this is useless. Yeah, advantages plus 3.5. Oh, okay. So let's say 3 is 300, 4 is 3,000. Let's cut down the middleman. Half of 2,700 is about 1,350. So 1,650 gold. So this is worth about 1,360 gold. Or 2 gold a day. I mean, come on, that's 2 gold. No, that's 2 gold. Oh my gosh. Imagine paying 2 gold. Like, sure, you could have an extra 3 or 4 hit points per level. Or you could have re-rolling damage or converting damage type. Or you can have cantrip attacks of opportunity. Or you can have 2 gold. Oh my god. All right, y'all. This was fun. It's a playtest. Let's not hit it too hard. I've been kind of rough on it.
What if Black Flag is a copper piece economy? Give me that 2 GP.
What if it's a copper piece economy? Like what? Like 2 gold's gonna buy you a magic weapon? I don't believe it. Imagine how fun a system would be without money. Everything needs money or trade of some kind. Everyone's paid in favors. That wouldn't last. It would never last. Oh boy. But all right, that's it from me. This was a blast. Thank you all for an awesome freaking stream. I love these Q&As. I'm probably going to do it like once or twice a month, so I look forward to next time. Look forward either later this week or next week. I'm just going to do a gaming stream. It's either going to be Hades or Wildermyth. I'll probably do a poll, see what people want to see. But I would love to do some gameplay on here. Probably Friday. It's probably going to be Friday. So be on the lookout for a poll in community. And if I do it on Friday, it'll probably be about 2 p.m. like this one was. But for now, I'm going to go. Thank you to everyone who donated. Thank you everyone for your awesome questions. And yeah, I will see you on... Oh no, I have a video going up Friday. Might be Thursday. That's tomorrow. Might be Saturday. We'll see. I'll think of it. Y'all keep it real. And I'll talk to you later.